And welcome back. Well, Hurricane Matthew left many homes throughout the island and seriously damaged. For some repairs, recovery could come a distance away. Well, tonight, Italia Hall goes on tour with the Port Authority inspection team to find out what is involved in the inspection process for homes that were badly damaged.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority hosting a post-assessment exercise, which is all a part of their routine inspections to see what damage was done to buildings on the island. On Tuesday, the team visited the Island Bay condominiums located in South Bahama. The building received a lot of roof damage. Nikira Wilchcomb, GBPA Environmental Manager, outlines the inspection process.
From an environmental standpoint, obviously when building materials such as insulation and sheetrock are exposed to moisture, the concern of mold development comes into being, and so that's one of our primary reasons for coming here today, as we've done with a number of other inspections at other locations.
Wilchcomb explained what happens after their inspection.
We will definitely update the building owners and just to apprise them of where they go to next in terms of what's the next step of works that need to be done. In some cases, some of the inspections are being done in order to re-energize the building safely, and so that will be forwarded to the Grand Bahama Power Company, and so we're working closely with them as well.
Senior Electrical Inspector at the Port Authority, Donovan Cox, says they always explore ways to see how they can best assist the residents.
From an electrical standpoint, we want to make sure the units that are able for residents to reside in, we could go in and make sure they're safe for them to occupy, and there's no danger electrically in the units, and we would separate or segregate the units that can't be occupied from the main electrical service and have the power restored to the building.
Chief Building Manager Dudley Francis says it's so important for their department to make assessments quickly so that they can determine what the issues are in a timely manner.
We can also point them in the right direction as to how they need to go about getting their necessary repairs done, as far as consulting a structural engineer if needs be, and getting their contractors to apply for the necessary permits to have their job done properly.
Vice President of Island Bay, Oscar Porter Jr. says having the GBPA team there on site is certainly progress.
We've seen what's going on with at least the power situation, the water situation. Now again, back to the buildings. Are the buildings safe for persons to be able to live in their own homes, even though some persons still are living in there? But the most important thing is to find out what's the status of the buildings, how can we move on after this, what's the steps? Because again, everyone wants to just get back to normalcy.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Chief Financial Officer, licensed chairperson of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Deanne Seymour, says they've been throughout the community meeting with licensees and conducting post-hurricane survey. Seymour says that so far they have interviewed over 500 licensees and represent some of 25% of the GBPA group.
Completed surveys in the following areas: heavy and civic industrial areas, Central area, Sunrise Shopping Center, Seahorse Village, East Coral, Hudson Estates, Coral Reef, Britannia, Settlers Way, Fairfield, Pine Ridge Estates, Britannia, Bahama Terrace, Hawksbill, and Bell Channel Bay. If you are in these areas and you have not seen our teams, perhaps your business establishment was closed at the time we visited.
Well, she also adds that the survey is available online and via email.
If you do not have access to email at this time, please feel free to visit our Customer Relations Department at the Grand Bahama Port Authority's headquarters building, downtown Freeport, and complete your survey today. We wish to thank our licensees for their unwavering, tenacious efforts to continue in business post-Matthew. Such commitment has been a stimulus as we all continue to work together to get our city back together on its feet again as quickly as possible.
In other news tonight, it's been a safe haven for displaced children for decades, but now the Grand Bahama Children's Home is on the brink of closing its doors. Executives say it's a bad situation made worse following the storm. And again, they're appealing to residents to step up and assist the home. Let's go to Megan Shepard.
Executive Director of the Grand Bahama Children's Home, Sheila Johnson-Smith, making an impassioned and heartbreaking appeal to the island and the entire Bahamas. The home that has served as a safe haven for hundreds of children over the years is now at risk of being forced to close its doors due to lack of funding. Johnson-Smith says that following Hurricane Matthew, they are now in even greater need than before.
Our major concern, besides food, funding, is the safety of these children. Unfortunately, we cannot afford to repair the fencing that is surrounding the building and the institution, but that is a huge issue for us here at the Grand Bahama Children's Home.
Following the devastating hurricane, staff members have been working 12-hour shifts, which now result in overtime pay. Johnson says that due to a number of displaced families, the home has already been receiving calls, and it is expected to reach its capacity, which it simply cannot afford.
I spoke with social services, and one of the concerns they had was the fact that they are quite sure that we're going to be asked to take in additional children because of what has happened with Hurricane Matthew. People are displaced. In fact, just the other day, a young lady came to the home with an infant. She says, "Here, I can't take care of this child any longer. I don't have anywhere to go. I need to place my child someplace safe." Fortunately, a member of social services was here, and she took the child and the mother to social services where they received some help.
Even though many businesses across the island are closed or have lost revenue, Johnson-Smith says she is grateful to those that continue to support the facility. She adds that during disasters such as this, it often brings out the best and worst in others.
This is the best of times and the worst of times. The best is that people have come to help us, and we appreciate everything that people are doing. Unfortunately, for the Grand Bahama Children's Home, we've had some not so good experience we're hearing about now. People have said they have sent things to us via other people, and we have not received it. And we're trying to do the tracking, but it's so difficult. I think it's really disgraceful and horrible that people would send things for the children's home, and other people would just take it. How could you do that to children who are in need, who have nothing?
Johnson is appealing for anyone that can assist with monetary, food, or clothing donations to please assist in keeping the doors of the Grand Bahama Children's Home opened. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Gotta help our kids. That's a look at your news. When we come back, we'll tell you what's happening in sports.